Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm going to figure out a way to get to this center circle. So today, first thing, we're going to cross over and check out this circle area. And new traps seem to be popping up every few feet. So we need to be careful. Now this one here can be deactivated by Argenta. So let's get her to take care of that. Okay, and then she's going to move forward. Take care of that, although she stepped right on it. Very interesting. Now we'll take care of that. And I believe that is all that we've actually found. So let's gather at this end. Oh! What happened? We disarmed it. That scared the heck out of me. Okay, there's goods over here, which we'll deal with in a minute. We are going to carefully make our way to the center here. I don't know if we can do anything with this, but we're going to check it out. Alright, there is something we can activate here. Oh. We're going to put it back where it was and move forward. See if we can go through this door. The system accepts the access codes. The clanging of moving bolts indicates the door has been unlocked. Let's see what we have found. Oh, there's something in a cage right here. This does not look friendly at all. We've got a lot of the void stuff happening. Now I wonder if these cages are gonna open. Ugh. Okay, everybody. Let's check it out. The screen of this cogitator shows a scrolling line of repeating technolingua. Yep, that's not going to give us any info. Okay, let's continue. What is this? The screen, okay, that's exactly the same. All of these say the same thing. Okay. Interesting. Numerous wires and pipes run to the filthy cages, which are filled with what looks like a conglomeration of human bodies. You cannot make out who is in the cage, but bright blue sparks flash intermittently in the darkness, while the mass of flesh twitches and shudders. What's going on here? Through the metal bars, you see it truly is a pile of human bodies, or something that used to be. The monstrously deformed bodies have fused together in places, while others were severed using saws and knives, leaving wounds seeping pus and slime. Wounds that are agglutinating and sprouting tendons. Rods connected to wires that run to a nearby cogitator bristle across the flesh. One of the human heads turns to you. Mercy. Oh dear. There I go. Even attempting to speak causes the mutant pain, but he bears the agony and forces out the words. Mercy. Make it stop. Oh my God. Shoot him in the head. How do you know what the head is? That'd be my question. Who are you? Foreman. From Sector. Hurts. Mercy. Oh, the mutant falls silent, but then his voice comes back. Foreman, Boiler 3. We're from the lower levels. Oh dear. Heinrix takes in his surroundings and once again fixes his attention on the contents of the nearest cage. I'm beginning to have some idea. The Lex mechanic mentioned the inhabitants of the lower levels who had been imprisoned in their homes. He said some of them were brought here. The cultists did something to these poor people in their home, and now they're studying the result. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I have seen a great deal, Rogue Trader. That includes mutations caused by the sorcery of chaos. But what frightens me most is not their repulsive form, but what is hiding beneath it. A human soul in torment. Chaos never forgets to ensure its victims retain the ability to suffer. So they're people, monstrously mutated, but still people. Yes, this is what warp sorcery has done to them, to be precise. I have seen many mutants whose features have been distorted under the effects of the arch-enemy, but this is something beyond all imagining. The Lex mechanic talked about some kind of slag waste disposal and chaos symbols on the machines. What are the arch-enemy's minions doing to the people? To know the workings of dark sorcery means allowing corruption into oneself. These are warp mutations, no doubt. Perhaps there was some side effect, and that is why they were brought here, to be connected to sensors and cogitators. Even fallen tech priests who have rejected the Omnissiah are driven by a perverted hunger for knowledge. They're hooked up to cogitators? Why? Well, lingua technis corrupted by scrap code, I'm sure. It's unlikely we will be able to extract anything of value. You... A female face watches you from within the gloom of the cage. Even though half her head has been turned into a mess of bones and lumpen growths, her single eye looks at you. You promised us. Her words are echoed by other voices in the depths of the cages. Oh. Heinrix leans toward the cage, but at a sufficient distance to ensure that they can't reach him. Who are you talking to? What did they promise you? Who are they? You took us from the inferno. You promised us a reward. Her face contorts in a grimace, and the creature's lips stick together like melted wax. I'll be damned. They can still speak. They remember the people who did this to them. Perhaps a little biomancy will allow us to draw the fragments of knowledge out of them. Or it'll trigger further changes. Oh, are you sure? Abelard chimes in at this point. Not missing Pascal's sober interest in proceedings, he's dutifully recording in a data slate. Abelard raises a brow. Esteemed Magos, these are your comrades. If I may ask, do you feel any compassion for them? Or at least, the very least, regret? Regret for the losses that these poor people represent to the Adeptus Mechanicus? Negative. What I am currently observing is not my tech comrades, but merely their biologically functioning remains, fashioned into a specimen of a natural perversion of technology. I am under no directives to feel any affinity for such specimens. Cabela stares at the pile of fused flesh without blinking. I do not hear names in the Undying One's whispers. They have become too twisted, and he no longer remembers them. All right, we've got Iconoclast. I ignored it last time. I gotta get back to it. Heinrix, let this go. You are only prolonging their suffering. I am inclined to relieve their suffering. Every moment of existence in such a state is pure torture for the people locked in these sheaths. Nice. Got some points. Seems to me your mind is already made up. These people need deliverance from their suffering. Heinrix wavers for another moment and then leans over the cogitators. Each mutant has cables attached. I may not know the nature of these machines, but it isn't too difficult to increase the voltage. Ah, this switch here. You hear the crackle of electricity. The wires glow with blue sparks, and the creatures locked in the cage drop lifelessly to the floor. The sharp tang of burned meat hangs in the air. That is that, then. But do you know what bothers me, rogue trader? The number of people here. There are too few. The lower levels of similar manufactorums are inhabited by millions. What happened to the rest of them? I know I won't like the answer. Let's go. We still haven't done what we came here to do. Yes, I agree.
This place is steeped in corruption, which means that it must be cleansed with fire down to the last crevice.
Sister, tame your fervor. Your zeal is laudable, but first I must ascertain the intentions of the archenemy, not crush its manifestations without a second thought.
Okay, let's go forward. There's another door on this end. Alright. Let's see what we've got in here. We are damaged. Magenta has a fresh injury. She should be able to heal herself. Alright, she's good. He's got a crippled arm. I don't think we can't fix that here. Let's move forward. This is the data vault. Let's click on this. See what happens. The massive cogitator grows out of the metal bulkheads like a grotesque tumor. A hollow roar sounds from deep within the metal housing. Whatever spurred the computer into action, it has enough power to supply a small command center. As soon as your eyes fall upon the cogitator, you feel a tingling in your temples. Every nook, every component of the machine radiates a sense of wrongness, one that is difficult to explain, but no less palpable for that. It is as though the construct itself defies the laws of physics and perspective. Heinrix makes a warning gesture, his voice ringing slightly with tension, threaded with disquiet. Stop, Anya. That is a creation of the arch-enemy. Don't go near it. You've done enough for me in my mission. Don't put yourself at risk now. What's he doing? Wincing, Heinrix approaches the control panel and bends down toward the screens. Despite the heat clogging the room, you feel an ice-cold breeze. Heinrix is clearly using his psyker abilities to try and fend off the pernicious effects of the Chaos artifact. Pascal. The Omnissiah's grace has not touched this object. This mechanism was not desecrated, but born flawed and unnatural. Iron most profane. Pascal produces a data slate. Initiating observation log. Let not fear stand in the path of knowledge. Oh, I'm going to keep my distance and wait. A minute passes, then another. You watch Heinrix examine the cogitator. His eyes scan the screens, his hands darting from the reel to the lever, sometimes hovering uncertainly over the next switch, which immediately receives a coating of frost. At some point, you hear his voice, almost a whisper, barely audible above the clanging, roaring machine. Sacrifices, more and more sacrifices every minute. Heinrix looks at you, his eyes darker now, appearing almost black in his white face. Hecaton determinans. The womb of this cursed machine is down on the lower levels. The auxiliary illuminator controls the system for delivering molten waste under the Manufactorum's main building. This cogitator is fueled by the energy harnessed from thousands of people, who are flowing beneath our feet as slag waste as we speak. Ah. But I cannot even imagine the reason for sacrificing all these people. It's inconceivable. Now we know why the fabricator sensor prized this monster so highly. The cursed tech priest and his associates created something that went beyond the limits of the Omnissiah's power. This machine is designed to process myriad possibilities using warp sorcery. It has almost finished its task. It predicts the future, Anya. Predicts the future? How is that even possible? Do not attempt to gain any insight into the essence of machines corrupted by the archenemy, at least not if you value your soul. I've encountered the heretics' mechanical abominations before. To truly fathom their nature is to allow a particle of death into your heart. But the fruit they bear, no matter how abhorrent their instruments. The fruit they bear could be useful. Heinrich's clouded gaze suddenly clears, and he glares at the cogitator. No. No. The cult's filthy ravings are not worth that. Your influence has made him more merciful. What we can extract from its storage drives will be enough. Iconoclast, here we go. We need to stop the cogitator for the sake of the people still alive down there. Heinrix vacillates for another second, then shakes his head as though clearing away mental fog. I almost succumb to the archenemy's old trick, the lure of the unattainable, the primary of all the traps that chaos sets for unwary souls. Heinrich's movements are exact and purposeful. Unlike his earlier operation of the cogitator, one after another, the cogitator's screams begin to fade to black, and the roar coming from inside the machine quiets to a barely perceptible howl, in which you imagine you hear notes of dejection. Heinrix bends over the keys and flinches as if from an electric shock. His head snaps back unnaturally, and you see his lips moving. The cogitator lets out a roar that grows louder by the second. Oh God, we gotta kill the demon. We get a chance to get in position. Pascal, let's put you here. Now we don't have, I don't know if we have Heinrix. I think we do. Anya, you stay put. Cabela, why don't you come here, dear? Abelard. Oh, just stay there. Argenta, you come over here. I'm gonna save before we start this. Alright, here we go. Alright, I don't know if this thing is gonna move, but we're gonna go ahead and place down a stratagem there. What is his hit points? 380. Now this guy is a monster. I don't see anybody else. So we can just focus on him. Let's see if we can lower his hit points down just a bit. It's a Screamer of Tzeentch. Alright, we went down a little bit. Let's see how tough he is. That did nothing. Okay. Alright, we've got to tell people we're gonna fire. Can you move here? Fire. Okay, that damaged him. Let's fire again. I think the head section seems to work best. This square. Oh, he summoned. and a herald. Got a herald and toadies. Alright, Heinrix. Let's buff him. Give him strength. Endure. Oh my god. Okay. That guy's... I don't have an AoE group heal. So this is difficult. You heal yourself, Cabela dear. Frag grenade. Let's try that. Okay. Now. Try that. Abelard, you're gonna need to heal yourself. And we... are gonna hit this guy. They're not that tough. Let's put up our shield. Okay, Anya, you're damaged, but I want to see if you can use this on him. Now that did pretty good damage to him. Put down a stratagem there. Lower his... can't reach him. Okay, we can move. Let's come over here. Argenta. We need to alert everybody's to dodge. And we are going to attack. She needs to heal. Okay, Heinrix. do anything. Yeah, it's doing a little bit. Let's heal. Okay. Pascal. Let's see. Take that guy down a little bit. Okay, I did absolutely nothing. Cannot fire this turn. Bella. Oh, it dodged me. Okay, you can't move. Alright, let's see what happens. Abelard, you need to come over here. Okay, we did a little bit of damage, not too terribly much. Okay, Anya. Tried. Oh, he's down, but not far enough. Okay, we can move her. I am not inclined to do so. Well, yes, let's do that. Okay. Let's, do we have somebody next to me? We do. Let's fire. Hit him. A little bit of damage. Every little bit helps. Okay. Pascal is doing fairly well. We're holding our own. Okay, Heinrix. impact damage with armor pen. Let's try this crack grenade. Okay, we killed the big dude. Okay. Let's hit him. Alright, he parried. We're gonna cleave. Nope. Didn't do very well. Let's go ahead and heal. Oh, he got an invigorate. Okay. Hit this guy. He's down. Now we can fire on this guy. He's definitely damaged. That's all he could do. Alright, Pascal. You come here. First, let's see if we can lower this guy's hit points. Okay. And now we're gonna hit him. Gonna hit him hard, hopefully. Not bad. Get over in his face, dear. See what you got. Let's do it again, shall we? Alright, that one's a little weak. Alright, that's all we could do. No, I'm not gonna heal her. I think she'll be okay. Alright, Abelard, you need to work on these two. Can I move here? There we go. Now, I'm gonna cleave and it should get both of these guys. It did. Fortunately, we can't do anything else. Let's shield. Okay, Anya. Okay, that didn't lower his. Okay, he's down a bit. That works. Let's put our new stratagem, move it here. Put that kill slot there. I think that's it. Okay, Argenta. Let's move here, dear. Put our gun back on. You know what, I could well, no. Let's see. We're gonna try to hit directly. Alright. That guy's done. Good job, Pascal. Alright, Heinrix. Why don't you come and get this fellow? I need to cleave. Let's just hit him. Alright. We're gonna help Cabela over here. Alright, let's try to taunt it. Alright, Pascal. Wow, that was a good hit. Nice. Give everybody a buff. And I think that's all he can do. Alright, Cabela. When they pop, they put out more. That just won't do. What does this do? He's dead. Okay, that guy, not so much. Okay. Kiava. Oh, I don't want to hit on you. No, 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 no. Okay. Alright, Anya, let's switch. Okay, he's down. I don't know if she's gonna be able to shoot. No. Put the stratagem down. Give him a debuff there. Okay, Argenta, can you... possibly hit him without hitting anybody else? Okay, that works. Do it again. Down. We did it. Heinrix stares at the smoldering ashes of the demon and then at the destroyed cogitator. The furrow on his brow slowly smooths out. His face looks almost contented. The creation of chaos is no more. I hope the fabricator sensor did not have time to pass on the secrets of this creature to his associates. And I hope that the survivors down on the lower levels can hold on until we liberate Kiava. Okay, let's see. I saw something happen to you, Heinrix. What happened when you touched that machine? Heinrix jerks his head and waves away the question, his movements sharp and unnatural. We'll talk about it later. But right now, his eyes settle on you. I must thank you, Anya. Without your help and cooperation, I doubt I would have reached the depths of Kiava and learned the truth behind my agent's dispatches and reports. I would never have ended up here, and I would never have succeeded in hampering the cult's activities. Abelard. Dare I hope, esteemed interrogator, that your keen interest in this Von Valencius world has been satisfied? I don't think Abelard likes him much. Oh, well, apart from the fact that the world is still seized by the arch-enemy's corruption, its populace is infected with heresy, and the once sacred machines of its manufactorum have been turned into weapons, quite satisfied, yes. My business on Kiava is concluded. It is time to return to the mission that brought you to the industrial world. The only thing I'll ask of you is an audience when we return to the ship. Heinrix bows his head to signal conversation is over. Okay. I think we're going to leave the episode here, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Please give a like and subscribe. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye now.